Have you ever wanted to try something different for applique instead of just using regular quilting cotton? How about trying something like Shannon Cuddle? Super soft, super cuddly, Minky, high quality. This stuff is absolutely amazing for blankets, but I also love using it for something like a pillow and using it to create applique letters on my pillows. Hi, I'm Dawn Chase, founder, owner, and designer at Creative Appliques, and I'm so happy you're joining me today. If you're a subscriber, welcome back. Thanks for being here. And if you're new, please, if you would, click that subscribe button and the bell next to it to be notified when I upload new content. Also, I would be ever grateful if you click the like button, the thumbs up, so that I know that you enjoy my content and you want to keep seeing more. It also lets YouTube know that you like my content, and it will help keep sharing the content. That's the only way I know you like my content, is if you give me a thumbs up and also if you comment down below. I read every single comment and I respond to all of them because I'm truly appreciative and grateful that you are here. So if you want to learn and find out some tips and tricks about using Shannon Cuddle for applique designs, stay tuned because we're going to talk about it now. So today I'm going to be making a pillow out of the Cuddle, and I need it to be, let's see here, 15 inches by 8. So I'm just going to make it 8.5 because it's a pillow. And I'm going to cut and cut. And this is two. I cut the front and the back. And now, one of the most important steps to do while working with Cuddle is to have your trusty handy vacuum. All right, so now we have our two pieces, one for the top and one for the back. So now I want to use some of the C3 Cuddle for the applique I'm putting on top. I'm doing some applique letters on top. And so what I want is to make sure I have the nap of the fabric going in the correct direction. Okay, so if you're like me and you like to pet your fabric, even if it's not Cuddle, this is going to be right up your alley. So you need to make sure you have the nap going in the correct direction. Okay, so to me, it looks like the nap is going parallel here to the selvage. All right, so now I'm going to take it and flip it because I know that's the way the nap is going. And if you are questioning, you can always keep petting it. All right, so now we need it to be 12 inches by, I'm going to play it safe and go with 6. All right. And as I mentioned, this is a prototype ruler, so it will be see-through when you have this, your purchased one. All right, so now we have the piece for our applique and the piece for the front of our pillow, and we are ready to stitch. So I hooped some medium cutaway stabilizer because with Minky, it is stretchy. So I don't want my pillow to misform and get out of shape. So I have hooped some medium cutaway stabilizer. And then I'm going to just use some temporary spray adhesive on here, and then I'm going to simply place the Minky on top of there, okay, to hold it in place and hold it down. I don't want to hoop the Minky because it could cause some hoop burn. So today in this video, I'm going to be using my SWF KXT 1501 multi-needle machine. But this process is the same regardless of whether you're using a single needle flatbed machine or a multi-needle machine. So let's jump in. So I have my hoop on my machine and I loaded the design to my machine and wanted to show you I put some Sew Tight magnets in here to hold the cuddle in place on the stabilizer. And now we are ready to stitch. All right, so we have stitched the letters, and you can see I stitched the letters in the regular orientation, so I didn't flip them or rotate them in any way. So that reason why that is important, because it's going to matter how we put down the top fabric that we're using for our applique, the C3 cuddle. So we want to make sure that the nap is going in the correct direction. And so because my word is reading from left to right and it's straight up and down, not rotated or reversed in any way, I want to make sure that I have the nap of my fabric in the correct way. So the nap is going down, and that's how I want it to be. So now I'm going to take some more of the magnets and I'm going to hold the top piece in place. But first, there's one thing I want to do that I like doing every time that I have holes or areas in letters that need to be cut out. And so let me show you what I'm going to do here. So I have the D and I have the O. Okay, so what I like to do is I'll fold the fabric back, and where I can see the circle, I will cut a small snip in the fabric right there, and a small snip in the fabric in the center of the O. That way, when I lay it back down and leave it in that spot, so it's exactly where it needs to be, we're not going to move it from there. When I go to cut the center of the D and the center of the O, I'm going to have a space there and a spot to be able to slide my scissors in and be able to trim it easily without cutting the under fabric. All right, so now that we checked the nap and I put my magnets on here well out of the way of the stitching area, if you have an issue, you can check underneath and see where the stitching is. And now I am going to stitch the top stitch, the tack down for the cuddle 3. Okay, so remember this little snip I took here in the very beginning before I started stitching, tacking down the white? Well, I'm going to show you now how easy it is to get into the center of the applique here, because all I need to do is slip my scissors in there and I am ready to trim. And I like trimming in the hoop because it gives me something to hold against, to kind of pull against. And this is just a bean stitch, so I did the tack down and then I left it without trimming it until now, until it finished the entire tack down of it. Because with it being a bean stitch, I didn't need to trim all the rest of the material off of it. And then I like to vacuum. Well, what'd you think? Wasn't that so fun and easy? In this pillow, I used the design that's Hello Fall, and these letters here are stitched in a blanket stitch finish. The Howdy pillow that I did in the demonstration and that I stitched on my SWF KXT 1501 was the Howdy bean stitch applique alphabet. It is also available in satin stitch and in blanket stitch as well. So I would love to know in the comments what you thought of this. If you have ever thought about using cuddle in your applique designs, how about if you've ever tried it before? What do you think? It's a great option and it adds so much diversity and texture to a design instead of just cotton quilting fabric. So super fun and super easy to do, right? So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Click that like button, leave me a comment to let me know what you think. And until I see you again, guys, have a creative life. Bye for now.